We emphasize today that Mr. and Mrs. Craver are presumed innocent. The hearing today is the first step in the process, and we intend to zealously represent them with the goal of reuniting Nanette and Michael with their daughter. Lately, media sources have reported problems that Russian children adopted by U.S. parents have experienced in this country. Many of these children have psychological issues and special needs. There are media reports outlining the horrors that some young children experience in Russian orphanages. In certain cases, these children have developmental problems that have not been adequately addressed by the adoption agencies or orphanages. Sadly, in some cases, these problems are not being revealed to the adoptive parents here in the United States. People seeking to adopt children outside of the U.S. need to demand that the adoption agencies and the representatives of these foreign governments fully and completely inform them of all medical, physical, psychological, and developmental needs these children may have before they bring them home. A lack of critical medical information and communication barriers often prevent adoptive parents from obtaining information that will help them raise these special children. Please remember that two parents have tragically lost their son. A sister has lost her brother. The Cravers will present their side of the case at the appropriate time in the court of law.
Basically, the whole purpose of today's proceeding was to determine if we had enough evidence to go forward to the Court of Common Pleas. This is, they call it a prima facie case. It's to go ahead and see, hey, do we have enough evidence? Is it sufficient enough that, if believed, the evidence could go then to a jury? And that was what we were trying to establish today. Clearly, what you heard today was not the entirety of what we would present at a trial. This is not a trial purpose. This is not a trial function. This is solely to show we have evidence to get to trial. And that's why we presented the witnesses that we did, is because those witnesses were able to establish what we needed to in a very succinct fashion to get to trial. It was our belief that in order to establish the elements of the crime, the most important witness to hear from for these purposes was Dr. Wayne Ross, the individual who performed the forensic autopsy, and the individual who provides testimony concerning cause of death and documentation of all the injuries that Nathaniel suffered. So that is why Dr. Ross was the primary witness that you heard from today.